5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so doing a presentation about Nextbus, which sorry, I'm Jeffrey. I'm a member here. Yes, I'm ieatLint on IRC and other internet forums. So this actually is not working.
Give it a second. It's VNC, it's slow. Look behind you.
Oh, okay, it's not updating down here, which is far more convenient. So yeah, Nextbus, for those of you who don't know, it is the company that's Muni contracts out to, and AC Transit and several other transit agencies throughout the United States, to track their buses. So they actually have a transponder in every single bus that connects to a cellular network and reports its current geographical location, its speed, its heading, and it also keeps track of which route the bus is on and how far on and off schedule it is. Sorry, this is confusing because I expected to be able to see what I was actually.
It was working before.
Thanks.
It's just you, man.
Let me reset it.
Don't just read it for you.
It's like somebody have a mirror.
Go too forward.
Give it a second.
I have a black screen, so yeah.
Here. So you here?
I think so. So yeah, okay, that's the information that there's an XML backend to this. Normally, they have the signs up at a lot of the bus stops. So you can also go to their website and look up this information. They also have an XML backend, which isn't supposedly public, but they don't actually really check. And through this, you can get arrival predictions, and you can get actual locations for all the vehicles in the system. That will actually give you, or you can load a web page and it will tell you where every single bus is in Muni right now.
Can you do like a Die Hard movie and take over the system?
I can't control it. Essentially, yes. It's an XML page.
They already have that on their site.
So the two main pieces of information is one where it gives you predictions, and this is an example of the XML layout that you get for a prediction. And as you can see, it says copyright Nextbus, but that's the only restriction. Copyright Nextbus, no commercial use. That's the only restriction they technically give on using this. So as long as you're not making a profit, there's no theoretical restriction.
You can't copyright facts anyway.
You can copyright the access to it in the schema itself. So yeah, you can also query multiple stop predictions in one single request. So you can look up the arrival predictions for 2 stops on opposite sides of the city and have them load up in one single page, which is convenient for some things. The other is vehicle locations, where it reports the actual location of the vehicles, and you get quite a bit of information about this. It includes its current heading on a 360-degree scale, its current speed in centimeters per second, which is done. It's done because it's metric, and it's done specifically in centimeters, so that there's no floating point numbers. So the example vehicle here is actually traveling at 8.6 miles per hour, or 388 centimeters per second. And you have the latitude and longitude, and this particular bus would be a 22, heading inbound on their internal route number of 2. And they have multiple route numbers depending on where the bus is going, because some lines have different destinations for the same bus line. And it also tells you how far off schedule it is. This one is 26 seconds behind schedule. And the predictable indicates that it can be used to give arrival estimates. If that says false, that means it's not part of a schedule. And some ideas of what you can do with this is that you can create your own Nextbus sign, such as vaguely what was running here before until they changed their XML interface slightly and broke it. Yeah, you can embed the information into something like a taskbar application, so you could always have on your laptop, for instance, when the next bus will arrive. You can get more useful information. Their website will only give you the next 3 bus arrivals. The XML interface will give you as many as it can give you, which can be at times 6, 7, 10, which can be useful for further out trips that you want to plan. You can actually use it to coordinate terrorist attacks, because you could actually then be able to tell where the buses are coming and be able to actually set up something that could be far more coordinated. Yeah. You can also create a study so you can actually track which bus lines are more often late and where. See how many buses operate on each line if you're curious during what hours of the day. See, like, how many are on the 22 at rush hour versus noon. And it looks like I'm actually out of time. Okay. So yeah. And the problem with the data is that it is restricted. It's copyright commercial use, which isn't a huge problem. It is extremely difficult to try and correlate the information of where the vehicles are as to when they will arrive. That those two data streams aren't easy to really put together, not with the information they give you. And they also, when things change, they don't exactly tell you, because they always have access to their database. And so since you end up having to mirror their database for stops and routes, you end up with stale data unless you check routinely. And it's about 2 megabytes of data you have to check. And I just have some random interesting facts, which I'll quickly go through. That during rush hour, Uni operates over 800 vehicles, but only about 200 of them are actually part of a schedule. The other 600 report that they're not part of a schedule, which is kind of bizarre. During 3 a.m. on a weekday, this was actually last night, over 300 vehicles were reporting that data, but only 40 of them were actually part of a schedule and operating. So at 3 a.m. on a weekday, you only have 40 vehicles running in the entire Muni system. And the average time that they were late at 3 a.m. was 118 seconds, and the worst offender was 18 minutes late, which was 14. And there were just short of 7,000 bus stops in the Muni system, and this would be this doesn't count bus stops twice. So if a multiple bus line service stop, it doesn't count it twice. There are actually that many stops in Muni right now. And Nextbus also covers somewhere around 30 to 40 transit agencies in North America, in both the United States and Canada, and the XML interface is the same for all of them. So it can actually be used for some rather interesting applications.
Nice.
Already over time? If anybody's more interested in exactly how to access this, talk to me, and I can set you up with the basic information you need.